everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. In today's game, we have two incredible receivers from the 2011 NFL Draft going head-to-head. It's Julio Jones going up against A.J. Green. So let's send you up now to the Queen City of Cincinnati. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll run for the first time with Hill. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Returner didn't have the space that he deserves, got bumped into. That's the flag.
After a 40 or 45-yard run downfield, sometimes you don't come under control in time. That was a penalty on the defense.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. And the slot man goes in motion left. They hand off to their big tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
First play of the drive, excellent run, just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
In motion left goes Jones. Ryan turns and gives to DeMarco. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to an Atlanta first down.
That guy's going to want the football a whole lot more. I'd hate to be the offensive coordinator now, because all he's going to say is, how come I'm not touching him more? Do you see me out there moving around, wiggling, and making it happen? Give me the ball, coach.
Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Here's the offense, and we talk about the tight end, Jacob Tammett.
A lot of people thought of him as simply a safety valve receiver. He can be a primary receiver. Jacob Tammett shows better athleticism than what people expect.
The slot man in motion right. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a 3rd Pro Bowl in 2017.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And his kick is right through. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Dalton, 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. That one goes for 34 yards. And it's good enough for a Cincinnati first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed...
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Here's a look at the young Atlanta Falcons, although next year, obviously, everyone will be a year older. So rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, an extra year, well, their only year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing, aren't they? I mean, I expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 who had big years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15 and a half, and also had 6 forced fumbles.
For Jeremy Hill, with the season in the rearview mirror, finished just below 1,000 yards. I think 18th in the league in rushing, and what, his 2 100-yard games both came against Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah, if he could play Cleveland each and every week, he would have been well over 1,000 yards. So the thing about Jeremy Hill and the Cincinnati Bengals offense, you think of them as a run-first team. So to me, his 889 yards, disappointing, because I would have thought that that would be a higher number and an increased production from him. He's looking to do that in 2017.
They come out here in the eye. Here's Dalton, shrugs the tackle. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. So a designed run last play. Now don't. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Kroft from 6 yards away. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And it's up and good. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 29 yards, and the Falcons have taken the lead.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. To throw here, trying to get it to LaFell, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Sanu, the man in motion left. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and that'll bring up second down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be fourth down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. So on fourth down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Dalton now to pass. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now fourth down.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll try on fourth. Here's Dalton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Robert Alford. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're...
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, Ryan connects with Sanu right side.
And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers, so you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
Now Ryan on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu, as the first half is winding down, and the Falcons will extend their lead. And he'll bang that one through. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He completes it to Boyd. A gain of 6 there on first. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
4 yards remaining now on second down. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Hill. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. The final act of the first half, Dalton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Never mind, Larry, forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Patrick DeMarco now from the fullback spot. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. They come out here in the eye. Slot man moves right. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
You know what's really hard for a big-time running back? Is patience. Being able to hang in there when the runs aren't there, when you're taking some hits early in the game. But this drive, oh, he's come alive, and in a big way. Now he's starting to gallop.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And the lead is now 24. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played. 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico. Jacksonville, Baltimore. This is taken in. It's complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Dalton out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short.